In today's video, we look at the pros and cons of the Mr. Beer 2-gallon versus 1-gallon / 1.5 gallon fermenter. Welcome back, everybody. So today we are going to go over the pros and cons of both the Mr. Beer 2-gallon and 1-gallon. Now I do say / 1.5 because this is 1.5, but Mr. Beer calls this out as a 1-gallon. So obviously you can see the first difference. One is more round, bigger diameter and taller. The 2-gallon version is longer. So I would say the first difference or the first pro and con will depend on what you want to do with it. Now, if you want to do a 2-gallon batch, obviously you have to go with the 2-gallon one, as this probably will not work for 2 gallons. Now, if you're going to do 2 gallons, obviously you're going to put a little bit more liquid in there, so you would have to go to this instead of this. So you can call it a pro or a con. I would call it how much beer do you want to make. The second one is the color of them. Now, they do make them brown, which is going to let less light in, where on the 1-gallon it is clear, so you're going to have to cover it up. Now, is that a big deal? That really depends on where you're going to put this. Now, I wrap this in a blanket when I use it, so it really doesn't affect me that much. Another one, or the next thing up, is markings. So this is the 2-gallon, so you do have a 1-gallon line and then a 2-gallon line on the 2-gallon Mr. Beer. On the 1-gallon, there's nothing. You do not know how much liquid you're putting in here, so you either have to go by weight or find something that you know is a true 1-gallon, put it in here and put tape or something on this so you know where that marking is. Another pro, I would say, that's for the 2-gallon kit is it's less pieces. Now, I'm not talking about the tap handle, because you do have more parts on that. I'm talking about something you would tear down all the time to clean and then to sanitize. The 2-gallon version only has the lid. The airlocks are actually built into the top, and they're 2 half holes, where the glass version, you have the airlock top, you have a gasket, and then you have the top. So technically you have 2 more extra pieces that you have to deal with on the glass one. Another pro, I would say, for the 2-gallon version is how the airlock works. Now, it has 2 half cutouts in the top. So when you screw the lid down, air does get in there and can get out. Where on the glass version, it has 4 half holes, and then up in the plastic, it has another 3 holes. I believe this will allow, if you have fruit flies or any kind of insect around, they will be able to get into this and then get into your beer, where this is threaded, so I believe they can't get in there. They could, but I haven't had any problems with them yet. A pro I would give to the glass version, it's easier to clean. You know, it has a bigger opening, so you can take that off. You can really get your hands down in here and clean it. Where this is smaller, so if you have big hands or wrists, you can't really get down there that well to clean it. Also, you have to turn your hand sideways to get down in there. Another pro for the glass version, it's glass. It's not going to suck up flavors or anything like that, where the 2-gallon version over time could do that. Another pro for the glass version is you're not going to scratch it. The 2-gallon, you could scratch. You can't use the same cleaning pads on the glass one or versus the plastic one. A con to the plastic one, it is kind of flimsy. If you start filling this up with water to clean it and all that, then try and pick it up. It is going to bow some. I've had the top bow, and even picking it up just a little bit, that top lip does bow up. Also, it is sharp. I could see somebody cutting their hands if this slipped, where on this glass version, well, if your hand slips from this and it breaks, it's going to end up like a big carboy. It could cut your feet, it could cut your hand, something like that. So that is a pro and a con of the 2-gallon version. A pro that I like about the glass is I can actually see fermentation taking place right through it. Some people might not care. I do check the 2-gallon version a lot, but I just look in there and see if there's a yeast head on there, where this one I can sit there and watch it floating around. So that'll really depend on if you like watching it or if you don't. Pro for the 2-gallon version, I think the tap works better. It seems like either pushing it down like I normally do or pulling it up releases more liquid than the glass version. Now, some people might say, well, you're saying that's a pro for you because it's faster, but when you're bottling, you want less oxidation, so the slower the better. Sometimes this can come to a complete stop, and my guess is it's plugged. So they are different. So I don't know if this is just a smaller opening. It does look like it from the outside. The diameter of the shafts, this one looks smaller, but this isn't a full circle. It's like half a circle that's got the top, or a little higher than half that circle's diameter cut off of it. But just in brewing all these beers, this one seems like it flows better. Another one that I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, when you're bottling, most of the time with this one, with the 2-gallon version, I take coasters, 2 coasters, and I will put them under the back to shift the liquid down once it gets about level with that tap. Where this one, you can still do the same thing, but to me it's more wobbly. So I do prefer this one over this one for that. And when you're bottling every 2 weeks, I have 2 of these and 1 of these. I feel safer with this because, again, even if we did it with this one, it's not as wobbly. Now, it is back and forth, but you've got it propped up. What do you expect? So in the end, I would say it's totally up to you what you are going to do with them. If you are new to homebrewing and want to start out on a small batch level, I would say go with the glass. It's going to be easier. You're not going to worry about scratching it, or if you mess up a beer. I don't know how much, let's say, flavor or particles this thing would suck up into the plastic and then release. But with glass, you're not going to have to deal with that. Also, it's going to be easier to clean in the long run. And again, I make 1-gallon batches. I get 4 24-ounce bottles. So if you're going something small like this, obviously you're not looking for something to drink 10 beers a day with. So I would say go with glass. If you're an intermediate brewer and you want to do some small batches and you want to up that to 2 gallons, I would say go with this one, as you're going to know how to clean it. Also, less parts to take care of. Also, this top does open a lot easier. So that's my take on them. I do like both of them. I have 2 of these, actually 3. Steve has 1. I have 2. I have 1 of these. I am going to pick up another one of these as they are cheaper. This one is about $17. Then this one I buy with 12 24-ounce bottles, and it's about $30 or something. But the reason I bought 2 of these was for the bottles, and plus it's prime shipping. So it's to me in 2 days or less, where this one right now is about 3 weeks. It's not prime. So it's totally up to you. But if you're new, just getting into it, I would say go with this. And also, if you want to work on cold crashing, I think this would fit better in your fridge. So if you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, happy brewing.